Hey there, welcome to your prenatal yoga class with Come Alive Healing Adventures. My name's Katie Rose. I'll be guiding you through the sequence today. We're just going to have a nice little film of the horses cruising around. They are on site with us and help provide space and hold space for our yoga classes. So as we are ready to settle in, make sure you grab your props. You're going to need your yoga mat. You're going to need a bolster or a firm pillow. You are going to need some blocks. You can also use books if you don't have any blocks at home, but anything to support yourself. So go ahead and get your mat down on the ground, grab your blocks and your bolsters, and let's get started. Alright guys, so find a nice comfortable seat on your mat, crisscross, whatever you might need, and find beautiful intuitive movement of allowing your neck to move from side to side. It doesn't matter where you start this, whether you're going to your left side first or to your right side. We will do everything the same from one side to the next. But the goal here is very gentle neck rolls, all while feeling your butt against the ground, and then begin to move in opposite directions. Noticing how tight your neck region is, noticing how tight your arms are, your hands, and begin to loosen up. Begin to find silence. And again, just releasing your neck. Anything that feels good for you. Begin to move that movement into your shoulders. Nice movement backwards, whatever feels good. And inhaling your arms up towards the sky and moving over into your right hand reaching for the mat, left hand reaching up for the sky. Begin to move your glance up towards the ceiling, feeling a nice stretch through the outside of your left. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, move over to the other side. Same thing, different side, reaching your arm up, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Begin to really strengthen out the right side. Inhale, both arms come up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands to the ground. Begin to extend both legs out into our wide-legged reclined pose. We're going to grab our bolster or a pillow, place it in front of you. Begin to reach your arms up with a big inhale and exhale. Fall forward on top of your pillow, looking for a nice stretch. Begin to flex your toes, allowing your toes to reach towards your knees. Take a nice deep breath in and open mouth, exhale, let it go. Continuing to stretch forward, moving your body through the neck. Whatever feels good. This is your chance to stretch it out. Focusing on the hamstrings here, noticing that as you breathe and continue to breathe in through this posture, it works on you. You release tension on those exhales and you allow yourself to fall even further towards the mat, making sure not to push any weight on top of baby. Really getting used to keeping that space nice and open where your belly is. And that's again why we use the props, is to help support us while we support our growing child. Take a deep breath in and come back up to your seat. You can move the bolster or pillow out of the way. Allow the soles of your feet to come together. You can bring a block in or on each side to help support your knees. If it's needed, it's up to you on if you need that extra support. We're going to put the pillow on top of our feet here so that we have a nice landing zone. Inhale our arms up towards the sky. And exhale, fall forward with your hands into our butterfly pose. Taking in a nice deep breath in And exhale out, wiggling into your seat, feeling your ground. Inhale, arms come up towards the sky. Exhale, fall forward, reaching towards the front. Using the pillow if you'd like. You can always move it out of the way if it's not for you. And we can kind of keep with the same theme of releasing our neck throughout class today. Bring all of your awareness to notice where it might hurt, where you might feel some tightness. This pose triggers our hips. Being pregnant, we have to focus on opening our hips as to prepare for delivery. In this moment, we are only focusing on what we can do today to help strengthen our body. So breathe into any tightness that you might feel through your hips, and exhale, let it go. Continue to breathe. Continue to allow your body to do whatever it needs to do. Coming out of the pose now, rise up with a breath in. Move the blocks and all your props out of the way. And very gently coming into tabletop position or hands and knees pose. We want to make sure the tops of our feet are nice and planted onto the mat. And you can allow your body to move in any direction it wants to right now. Just playing with what it feels like to be in this posture. Whatever feels good. You can jump into your cat-cows. You can play with planting your feet, planting your hands. And then once you feel like you've found yourself all loosened up and in a nice position, see if you can center up your tabletop posture here and take a nice deep breath in as you look up towards the sky. Exhale, chin to chest. Your stomach presses into your spine, opening up our back. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, pressing your stomach in. So we want to keep flowing with our breath here, noticing that I'm about 5 months pregnant in this video. And it doesn't matter where you are in your pregnancy, this posture and this pose is exactly perfect for you. And a lot of times women have birth in this pose. So get comfortable with it, get familiar. Inhale your right arm out in front of you and exhale your left leg back behind you. Pretend that somebody's pulling you from each direction, allowing your spine to strengthen. Continue to breathe. You can roll out your ankle if you'd like to. It's all up to you here. And bring yourself back down to tabletop. Inhale, look up. Exhale, in towards your cat. Wiggle it out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Whatever feels good for you. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Right leg presses back behind you. Stretch it out. An opportunity to really elongate the spine. You can roll out that ankle if you'd like to. Continue to breathe. The breath is the most important part of any yoga class. So continue to feel your breath and exhale everything back down towards the mat. Wiggle it out. Inhale, looking up. Chin to chest. Exhale, breathe it out. Let all that angst go. Puppy pose. Allow your arms to come straight out in front of you. You're going to keep your hips directly above your knees. And this stretch helps us to get into our shoulders. If this is too much for you, go ahead and head on over to child's pose and we'll meet you there here in just a second. But you can see with puppy pose, if you allow yourself to fall forward with your chest towards the mat, you allow your shoulders and your arms to begin to be nice and straight. Some of you may look like this. Some of you may not. Some of you might not be able to reach the ground with your chest, and we won't be here for long, so you can already come on out of there. Wiggle a little bit and sit down into your child's pose. So for our pregnant selves, we want to have our knees be really wide. Make room for baby, and you can even grab a pillow if you'd like, and that will help you prop yourself up, get some tension off of the tender breasts, and to again create that nice space for the belly to fall. Take a nice deep breath in, And exhale, let it out. We're looking to bring our hips towards our toes. And again, make sure your toes are touching here. That allows us to stay in beautiful alignment from the left and to the right. And this pose is for you. If you want to stretch it out, feel free to do so. If you want to keep your arms bent in. This pose helps to strengthen and lengthen our lower back through the releasing of the hips. So take another deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Noticing that you can also press into your hands on your exhale, and that actually allows your hips to fall even closer towards your heels. Continue to breathe. Continue to find gentle love for yourself and support and strength. You are in the midst of creation, and we can sometimes get carried away with the aches and pains and forget what we're doing this for. Finding yourself back up into a seated pose. We're actually coming into camel pose here. We're going to look for a little bit of a lower back release. Inhale your arms up towards the sky and exhale. You can wiggle side to side, a little side bend over to the left, and inhale back up, side bend over to the right, and back up. Inhale, looking up towards the sky, and then exhale, placing your hands behind your back on your butt, and you're really just pushing your pelvic floor forward. It's hard to see sometimes because the belly's in the way, but you're focusing on pressing the hips forward, so that's where the movement comes from. So just continue to press that in, and please, please, please don't stop your breath. Keep breathing. Gently allow yourself to fall back into straight spine. Inhale, arms up towards the sky, and exhale. We are going to move into alternate nostril breathing. So I'm going to get myself adjusted here to face the front so you guys can see. You can set your seat with your pillow in between your knees and your heels, sitting on it with your butt. You can use the block if you'd like. You could even come into crisscross applesauce or easy pose if that feels better for you. So find yourself into a nice comfortable seat. And however long it takes you to get it right, it doesn't really matter what it is that you find that's comfortable, as long as you're comfortable and feel supported. So just find that seat. Alrighty, bringing your two hands, your two peace fingers up toward the sky, and then dropping those fingers down. We're going to cover our right nostril with our thumb and take a deep breath in through the left side. Exhale, cover the left nostril, and exhale out the right side. Inhale through the right, cover that nostril, and exhale out the left. In through the left, cover your nostril, and exhale out the right. In through the right, cover the nostril, and exhale out the left. In through the left. Cover and exhale out the right. Going at your own pace, your own speed. Staying on that nostril, inhale. And exhale out the other side. The goal here is to cover one nostril while you inhale on one side. Cover the other nostril and exhale out the other. Inhale on the same side of that nostril. And exhale, let it go. You might get a little boogery or whatever it might be, but just allow yourself to finish up by placing both hands on top of your knees just to receive here. That was a beautiful breathing exercise to help balance our left and the right sides of our bodies. You just take this time to settle in, taking another deep breath in if you'd like, and letting it go. side stretch. We're working on that left side, so allow that arm to come up and back down to the other side. Back up to center. Removing your pillow and coming into our tabletop position. Just a couple more wiggles here. We might have worked out some things. And downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. You can put your knees down towards the mat, bring your chest in towards the knees. That allows you to find a nice spot for that. Or basically a good alignment for your down dog. We want equal pressure through our hands and through our feet. This is an example of a modification if your wrists are beginning to hurt. Sometimes that happens in pregnancy. So placing your palms on top of the blocks or your books and finding something that's comfortable for you to get fully into your down dog. Sometimes in pregnancy we develop carpal tunnel syndrome in the second and third trimester. So we'll do whatever we need to do to strengthen and not put so much tension on our hands. So if that feels good for you, stay there. And then work your way back into a forward fold. Forward folds when you're pregnant, you want to have a nice wide stance. Continue to breathe. Continue to shake out your neck if that feels good. Again, just following whatever feels good for you. Inhale, looking up towards the sky, looking for about a flat back here. And hanging out, allowing your back to be nice and straight. You can roll out your shoulders if you like. In, coming back down on your exhale. Inhale, rising up all the way to mountain pose. Noticing that your stance of your feet are wide, like your hips. And continue to breathe, really pressing down through your feet. Side bend over to the left side. Inhale, rising back up, center. And exhale over to the right side. Really strengthening the sides of our bodies today. We're moving into chair pose. This is one of our strengthening positions. So I'm going to place a block between my thighs just to help create the tension I want in my muscles. And then I'm going to just bend down into my knees and sit back into a chair pose. You might focus on tilting your pelvic towards the wall behind you or towards whatever space is behind you, allowing your pelvic to tilt. Take a nice deep breath in, arms sweeping up, and exhale, forward fold, removing the block. Continue staying forward fold, halfway lift on your inhale. Quick little flow if you want it, or just hang out on plank and come down into downward dog. It's up to you. Just a quick breath here. And out you go. Left leg reaches up towards the sky. Or your right, it doesn't really matter. Placing your foot on the outside of that arm, lowering into low lunge. Whenever you feel supported and comfortable in that stance, begin to reach your arms up towards the sky. This is a beautiful strengthening pose for our hamstrings, which in turn strengthens our hips. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Continue to feel that motion. And a little bit of a twist. We can do open twists. So make sure that the right hand is in the inside of the right foot and your left arm is reaching up towards the sky here. Exalted, placing that arm behind your back and tilting backwards with your hips pressing forwards. Arms come back down, transitioning into our downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Walking forward to meet your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. forward fold. Pressing into your hands, rise up to mountain pose. I grabbed a block with me because we're going right into chair pose here. Inhale, arms come right back up towards the sky, sitting down into our chair pose. Your hands can be in pyramid or prayer right in front of your heart. And getting yourself to strengthen. Continue to breathe. Breathe through any tension you might feel. We're not going to be here too long. Just continue to breathe through. Inhale, and you're done. Woohoo! Exhale, down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And coming into our plank. Flow it into upward dog if you'd like, or skip it and come right into downward facing dog. Up to you. You can pedal out the knees, the feet, whatever feels good for you. All right, moving over to the other side. Your left leg reaches up towards the sky. You can bend your knee, give yourself a little bit of a bend in that, and allow that left foot to come on the outside of that left foot. Low lunge. Once you find it, rise up. You might wiggle, you might fall, but you can come right back into it, and that's exactly perfect. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. You might notice that this side feels a little tighter through the hips than the other. And that's just something to note. Your left hand reaches down towards the mat. Right arm up towards the sky. We're looking for an open twist. Helping to really strengthen out our spine in this class today. Exalted. Allowing that arm to come to behind your back, reaching your heart up towards the sky. And falling forward into your downward facing dog. Breathe. Alright, we're just going to waddle our way into our yogi squat. Placing our elbows on the inside of our knees if we can. We're shooting to have our heels on the ground. As you can see, I really like to wiggle and wobble and do whatever I need to do to feel the best movement. Some of us may want extra support, so we can place a block underneath our butt. This allows us to put a little bit of the weight onto the ground. And it's a little bit of a different stretch, but it feels just as good and it's just as beautiful and as beneficial. Look at the neck rolls. This class is all about releasing that spine and the neck. Let's push that block out of the way if you'd like. Come right back into your squat. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, into wide-legged forward fold. Really extend those legs apart, those feet are apart. Coming down, allowing your arms to reach for the mat, allowing your head to fall. This is a beautiful stretch to really release the shoulders with gravity. If you're not touching the ground, don't you worry. Do whatever you need to do to at least feel the stretch through the back of your hamstrings, into your hips a little bit here too. Again, we're just creating space for the baby to fall. And this might really actually take a lot of pressure off your internal organs. So just continue to breathe, feeling what's right. And we're going to slowly come out of this pose by placing both knees onto the ground, turning to face either direction on your mat and doing a quick little child's pose. Take a nice deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Knowing that through sighs, noises, we actually release more tension. So I invite you to give it a shot. We are going to transition into another pose. This is where we're going to use our blocks. So set up, you have one block that's higher up than the other. You can mess around with it once you have it there, just as long as that back one's higher than the other. Then we're going to place our bolster or a pillow directly on top of the blocks. Allow our back to come down, lay on top of the bolster. Allow our soles of our feet to come together. Knees dropping down wide and moving into our reclined butterfly. What a beautiful stretch to open up our hips, create room for the baby. And again, you might have to transition yourself a little bit. You can stay here if you'd like, or move into windshield wipers, just allowing your knees to kind of work together. And begin to move into our reclined pigeon. We're going to open up our hips in the other direction. So your left ankle comes on top of your right knee. Your right foot is planted firmly on the mat. You can get more out of this stretch when you take a deep breath in. And you exhale, press your left hand into your knee, pushing it away from your torso. Again, it allows you to get deeper into that top part of your hip. Continue to breathe. We never want to stop the flow of our air. So just watch that flow. And sensing in, wiggling if you'd like. Whatever you would like. Just focus on you and what you need in this moment. Alright, transitioning to the other side by removing your leg and coming into windshield wipers. Knees go side to side. Try to go slow here, being gentle on yourself. Recline pigeon on the other leg. Allow your right ankle to come on top of your left knee. Watch your right knee press down towards the ground, falling away from you. Taking in a nice deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Pressing against your knee with your hand if you like. Maybe this side's tighter and you're already getting a good stretch. So just honor what is needed for you in this moment. Taking in another deep breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, shine it out, let it go. Recognizing that we are cultivating strength and releasing tension. Gently lowering that right leg down and windshield wiper our knees side to side. We're going to move into bridge pose here. So allow the soles of your feet to be solid on the ground. And when you have that, lift those hips up towards the sky. Lift, lift, lift. Keep breathing. Focus on what you can do in your pose. Lower your hips back down to the ground. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. A couple more windshields. And back up we go again, bridge. This is our opportunity to really combine everything that we've done today in class by strengthening and stretching our spine, our pelvic area, and strengthening our lower back. Exhale, let's come back down. Windshield wiper those knees side to side. Back and forth, slow movements here. And wiggle yourself to now bring your legs up. Both legs are up. We're going to kind of work through gravity. If you feel like you can get on your back for just a little bit, it really just depends on where you are in your pregnancy, but please honor where you are. But you can put your legs up the wall too. You can even reposition your props so that you're supported for this. But this allows gravity kind of flow down. So if you've kind of been noticing you get kind of swollen feet or ankles, this will be a very good pose to help you with that. But we do want to be careful being on our backs, especially after 20 weeks, just because there's a very major vein that carries blood, so we don't want to disrupt the flow of that. So simply coming out of our posture back into our reclined butterfly, soles of the feet together. And we're gently going to allow ourselves to hang out here. Move into more of a quiet surrender. Allowing your knees to fall down towards the mat, towards the ground. Recognizing that there's really nothing that you have to do right now. Only let go. Only noticing your breath. And only allowing whatever wants to happen to happen. Taking in another huge breath in. And exhale, let it go. Let yourself go. Focusing on your hips, relaxing anything in your neck that might need it. And then begin to bring your hands in to hold your lower belly, right where your baby's sitting, laying or floating or swimming or kicking, whatever they are doing. And we're going to bring some words of intention, of love and gratitude down to our baby at this time. So whatever you'd like to say, whatever you'd like to sense in. Sometimes when we focus on this area, we can notice an energy or a color. So see if anything wants to come through for you right now. And whenever you're ready, your arms and your hands can relax back down towards the mat, bringing you into your final resting pose of Shavasana. Supported here in reclined butterfly. You are welcome to extend your legs as well, if that feels good. Allow your eyelids to be heavy and no tension in the mouth, in the neck, and then melt. Melting away. Letting your knees and your hips be loose. Being the watcher of your breath. And gently bring in some slight movements back into your body, or stay here if you'd like to just finish up your class laying here as long as you'd like. Go ahead. Otherwise, see if you can find yourself into fetal position, lying on one side of your mat. Creating an intention, something that you might have learned today in class, some type of wisdom, something you gained by perseverance. Maybe acceptance, maybe it's strength, maybe it was opening, maybe it's curiosity, love, whatever the intention might be. Set that now, and when you have it, come to a seat to close off your practice. Inhale, arms reaching up towards the sky, hands to heart center, exhale. Arms reaching up, inhale, gathering all of the energy we cultivated and bringing it into your heart on your exhale. Inhale one more time, gathering it all in, and exhale it into your heart. Bowing forward with love and grace. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. We hope to see you again on our next video.